Hi, I'm Levent-Levi of Blog Geek Me. What we're going to talk about now is WebRTC Trends for 2022, which is a workshop that I'm working on. We're going to start by setting the stage, understanding where we are today and how we got here. And the first thing to ask is, are we at peak WebRTC? Have we gotten to the point where we're not going to see more use of WebRTC than we've seen in the last year through the quarantines that we've had? We're still in the pandemic, there's Omicron, there are going to be more quarantines, but are we over the peak already? The second part is libWebRTC, the state of libWebRTC. libWebRTC is the Google implementation for WebRTC. It is out there for everyone to use and it is very popular. That said, there are changes that have been made in the last year and we're starting to see talks about governance changes in this project, and we need to understand what goes on there to understand what kinds of flexibilities and limitations that poses on us. Then there's the open source landscape, the vendors that we use, the frameworks that we use in order to build our applications when we go to open source. Some of them are growing and some of them are reducing in their popularity and their use in the market. We're going to review that as well. CPaaS vendors, the building blocks that we use, communication platform as a service. They seem to have missed the train, at least some of them, when it comes to WebRTC and the requirements there, and are playing catch up. Which ones should you be using? Is there an opportunity there for new vendors as well? Into this new world that we're at, we're coming into 2022. And I've identified 5 different trends for you that are going to be important in 2022 for WebRTC. Let's see what they are. First one, scale and performance. This comes from last year when we said, well, there's a 49 gallery view, we need to do that. Everyone went to do that. The things have been nuanced since then. There are new things that we need to do. There are things that Google has done in libWebRTC in improving performance. And we need to understand where we are today. How are conferences being conducted? How is WebRTC being used? And where can we squeeze the lemon and optimize it further for our needs? Second trend, new technologies. WebRTC is being unbundled. WebRTC is now being split into WebAssembly, WebTransport, WebCodecs, so you can build your own solutions with or without WebRTC as part of it. We're going to see these experiments being done, especially with WebTransport and WebCodecs. And we have AV1, a new video codec that is now being introduced and being added into WebRTC. How is that going to affect your plans and what you should be doing with that? Third trend, infrastructure. The question is there on the table. It has been there from last year. The jury is still out there. Do we need 4 data centers, 10, 20 regions, 100? What is the right number? I don't have the answer, but there is a new technology that came in here called Anycast, and we're going to review that and see what companies are doing around that and have some suggestions of what you should be doing as well. There are new use cases. There's live streaming, but then there are also things around the metaverse, which starts from taking the world that we're in, the office, taking us home from there to work from home, and looking at events that are now remote or hybrid, and how that works together, and how can we copy the world that we're in into this new metaverse, either in 2D or 3D. Fifth trend is market forces. There are certain market forces that are going to change how we think and work with WebRTC. They are new to 2022 and they haven't been here before. Big companies today, the big 5, are using WebRTC and they're all using libWebRTC from Google. Can they cooperate together or are they going to compete about that? What are they going to decide to place in WebRTC and work together for? Whereas what are they going to use proprietary solutions to differentiate with one another? This is going to be something that we're going to see strongly in 2022, and it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the market. Then there's the CPaaS vendors again, and especially Twilio, that have pivoted and went into CEP, customer experience platforms. This has nothing to do with WebRTC, at least not a lot, and we need to understand if that's an opportunity for CPaaS vendors. Is that going to affect developers that need to use CPaaS vendors? Which one should you use when you're going to build your own application? Then there's the elephant in the room in the form of Zoom. Every company that uses WebRTC today competes directly or indirectly with Zoom. We're going to see how that is going to affect us moving forward and what you should do about that in 2022. So join me in this 3-part workshop that is going to take 3 days. In each session, we're going to talk about 2 of these trends. We'll start with introduction and end with the market forces. Go to that link if you want to register. And if you're not sure that you can attend all of these sessions, we're going to have that recorded for you. So you're going to be able to review that later if you need to. See you there.